Hello, makers. I'm Jen with Making. I am the head of marketing, and my pronouns are she, her. Thank you so much for joining us at the Flock Fiber Festival vendor meet and greets. We are so excited to be able to bring this to you. So the reason that we're here, thank you for joining us. Do you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Kim McBrien Evans, and I'm the master evil genius at Indigodragonfly Yarn Studio in Haliburton, Ontario, Canada. We're about 3 hours north of Toronto. Turn left at the Moose, and you know you're in the right spot. But if you get to the sled dogs, you've gone too far. You have to back up.
Okay.
My pronouns are she and her, and we're just so thrilled to be here in Seattle for this event, this wonderful event here at Flock. Yeah,
it's been so amazing, and you know, I said this on the podcast before, but even just talking to y'all before we arrived, it's just like there's this energy that is so beautiful.
It really is.
Everybody is so kind and like I was like, oh, maybe a few vendors will want to chat with me, and like everyone's been so excited.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
We love being able to bring Flock, the first year of Flock, to people who maybe can't join.
Yes.
Okay, so I asked for you to send your bio over. And it says there's a line that really stuck out: refusing to be a cog in the cookie cutter yarn industry. And we love that because that is some big Making Co energy right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, we refuse to be a cog. So I want to hear more about that.
Well, we get bored really easily. We don't want to make the same colors over and over and over again. Yes. So especially when we're doing shows like this, we are constantly making brand new colors. So I brought a couple of colors.
We have yarn on the table. It is
right here. This one felt very Seattle to me. It's very woodsy. And this one also feels very Seattle to me. It's kind of foggy, but with bright colors popping through as well. So when we do yarns for this kind of event, we come up with one-of-a-kind colors that will only be available here and won't be available. We won't be able to repeat them. And we love the spontaneousness of just diving into the dye pots with whatever colors are on the counter, playing with the colors, and just keep playing at it until it looks right. Some people tell me that my yarn looks like I dye my feelings. Some people eat their feelings.
Oh,
I definitely dye my feelings. You can tell from day to day. But then we dye in many different ways in our studio. There's 3 of us dyeing. Everything is dyed by our 6 hands. Wow. I do things that are more multifaceted and layered, like this one, where every single stitch, we want it to be a making experience for the maker. So every single stitch will be exciting to you because the colors change as they go through your fingers. And I just love that. The ones like this are more like our dyer Victoria. Victoria is the newest member of the team. Awesome. I say new, but she's been around for like 7 years. So she knows some stuff. But she's really excellent at lighter colors that have lots of depth and lots of layer and don't look like the Easter Bunny threw up.
Ah, yes.
And she's also really good at really fine speckles, which they bore me. I don't like them anymore, but she loves them and makes beautiful yarn with them. And then my husband, Ron, is also part of the whole gang, and who knows what he's going to come up with on any given day.
Ron is unpredictable.
He's unpredictable. Yeah. He's also not a knitter. So Victoria and I approach yarn as knitters. Ron approaches yarn as, I think it would be really cool to see what would happen if we take orange and then put purple on top of it, and then maybe throw in some lime green.
So just Ron is pure chaos. That's what it is.
Well, I am pure chaos.
Okay, got it.
Ron will think very orderly about it. So he knows exactly, but it's still a little bit of, I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I think it would be cool if I tied the skein in a knot and dyed it and then did something else to it and dyed it. And yeah, he's like, we're like, well, I'm not sure that's going to knit up well. He's like, it's fun, it's exciting, it's different. So things like this colorway, where you see definite blocks of color, that's the Ron thing. And so in my design work,
Yeah.
I have to come up with ways of making this kind of thing work.
I love it.
So
Ron's keeping you
that's
on your toes.
It really does, but it
Yeah.
also keeps the creativity going in the studio.
Yes.
None of us, we have regular colors. You can order our regular colors. Nobody bothers anymore because they just love the spontaneousness of
Yes.
the special colors that we dye.
Yeah.
So that's why we're not the cookie cutter dyer. We don't do a lot of the same thing over and over again.
Mhm.
We don't like to.
Yeah.
And so we just don't do it.
Yeah.
And as a result, I think that our yarn is very dynamic and exciting and makes really beautiful knit and crochet wear.
I mean, I think now is the time to hold up the
Yes.
example that you have here.
So this is an example of the yoke of the sweater. Yeah, you can do that. So this sweater is a free pattern on Knitty. It's called Light of the Valkyrie. It's my latest sweater design. And do you see all the swirly shapes?
If we can get it closer there.
Those happen because of the way that this yarn is dyed. So those big blocks of colors need to be managed somehow. And so I started designing things with this sort of motif for that reason. And we gave this design to Knitty. It's been really, really exciting for a lot of people, but also intimidating because they see those big shapes and they're like, I don't know how to do that. So later this summer, we're going to do a knit along leading up into festival seasons so that people can have this sweater to show off. And I'm going to do a class as well so that if people are nervous about this kind of design, well, I'll just sit them down, hold their hand and say, it's going to be fine. You just do this and do this and do this and let the yarn do the work and you will have this amazing, gorgeous sweater at the end of it.
It's wonderful. Yeah. Tell us about your journey as a maker.
Ah,
so when did that start? How did the interest get sparked?
Well, I was born. I actually remember making things from a very, very young age, like toddler age. I learned how to knit when I was 4.
Nice.
I didn't do it a lot as a child.
Yeah.
I got back into it as a teenager, but I've always been making things. We spent a lot of time when I was growing up at a summer cottage.
Okay.
Where there was no television because 1970s, 1980s, no television. Sometimes there weren't other kids around to play with. So I spent a lot of time making.
Yeah.
A lot of time learning different crafts. My mother used to weave and sew and knit and crochet. My dad did needlepoint.
I love that it's a
we
family
figured
affair.
It is. And one point we look back at our family history and for 4 generations, every single member of my family did some sort of handcraft, usually a textile. So I can't help it.
I love that.
I cannot help it. It had to happen. Right.
So
that's when it started and it never stopped.
I love when, I mean, like, I feel like every story that has come up with people saying how they learned is like special, right? Even if it's like, I just decided to go and, go on YouTube and learn, but usually it has like an actual story to it.
Yes.
And how I learned how to knit was from an ex-boyfriend's mother. However, the most exciting part was after my dad passed, my mom and I were going through some photos.
Yes.
And there was a photo of the 3 of us wearing yellow sweaters. And I was a little tiny thing. And she goes, oh my gosh, I totally forgot you're known to knit those for us.
Oh, amazing.
And I had no idea.
That's amazing.
I'm getting
wonderful.
like goosebumps just thinking about it. But like the fact that it is kind of in your blood at a certain point, right?
I really believe that it is.
Yeah.
There's a great story in my family about how I was sitting at a dinner table at my grandparents and there was a tablecloth that was crossed. No, I did this first. I decided I was going to make a wedding present and it was going to be a tablecloth with some embroidery. So I taught myself how to cross stitch and I cross stitched this whole ginormous tablecloth. I made up the design. I chose all the colors. I just dove in and I did it. And my parents saw me doing it and they were like, that's really weird. How did you start doing that? We don't understand. We went to my grandparents' house for dinner and there was a tablecloth on the table that nobody had ever seen before. And my great grandmother had cross stitched it. And my parents were just like, whoa,
Okay,
this is
I
weird.
have goosebumps again.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
amazing.
Right? So there are those stories in our history, I think, that
She was
that-
with you in
that
those
make
moments.
us who we want,
100%.
Yes, for
Oh,
sure.
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I need to know another thing that I read when I was looking you up. Smartass knitters for World Domination Club.
Yes.
How do I join?
So we've done several yarn clubs over the years. We're in discussion right now about our next one. I would say mid-September is when we're going to start having signups at indigodragonfly.ca with the new version of the club. Smartass Knitters for World Domination was our very first yarn club that ran for 10 years. I think I want to bring it back this year.
Yeah.
And the reason why we called it that, well, it was me. Let's face it, it was me.
Yeah.
Everybody else was wondering why, but it was me. And if you've ever read any of our names, so they come from pop culture. So there's another one here that's called, this one so Ron's brain is broken in the best possible way. He comes up with our color names and I really don't know what's going on in that head of his.
Oh my goodness, it's
So
amazing.
this one is called, I'll put it up close because you kind of have to see it too. Potpourri, the fragrant Teletubby. Just saying. They're
amazing.
hilarious. They make what's even funnier is when they make him laugh. So this kind of action has brought a lot of smart asses our way. So that had to be a thing. And World Domination is basically our business plan.
Yeah.
If you open up our business plan, all it says is World Domination. And for me, what that means is we want to take over the world with as much good and kindness as we can.
I love it.
So a portion of the sales of our yarn has always gone to charities, and we consider local charities to be something in our town, something in our country, and something internationally. So we try to split the money in that way so that we're always putting good out into the world.
I love that.
We encourage our customers to be really kind, and we've built up a wonderful community of people that do amazing things. Like if somebody's having a hard time in their life, we'll get 5 emails from people saying, we would like to send so-and-so a skein of yarn. You choose, you know what they like, bill me for everything.
Beautiful.
And it's really, it makes us cry all the time.
Yeah.
Well, it makes me cry.
Yeah.
The other two are cold, hard-hearted people that are wondering what is with her.
But as a Cancer, Pisces, Cancer, I understand the crying part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally Cancer here.
Oh,
full on
Cancer sister. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. It's all the things.
Love it.
So we see that kind of action happen all the time. And we try to support things like this that are bringing communities together.
Yes.
We try to support things that Making is doing because we love what you're bringing to the world.
Thank you.
So we love supporting all of that. And at the end of the day, no matter what else is happening in the yarn world, we come back and focus on, so what can we do to put more kindness and beauty out there in the world? And that's really what the core of who we are.
I love this.
Yeah. So,
but also kindness.
But also we're coming for you, world.
Look out.
All of you.
All of you. So when you're not making and when you're not the active making, I always say that when you're not making, and then sometimes people look at me like that. And I'm like, no, the active making.
Yeah.
It's a little confusing sometimes. We get there though. So if you are, when you are not in the active making or running your business, what do you like to do that is like not crafting related?
That's a very tiny part of my time. My brain is, even if I'm not making with my hands, my brain is actively thinking of the next thing and being inspired and running ideas through my brain. But we have 2 dogs.
Tell me
one
about
is
your
the
dogs.
champion of snacks, and the other one is the chief snuggler.
Oh my gosh.
Snuggling officer. That's what his title is.
Yeah.
So we spend a lot of time with our dogs, hanging out, playing.
Love it.
enjoying watching them play with each other
Oh
and
my
that sort of
goodness.
thing. I like going exploring both in because I think the more I know about the world and the more I see of the world, the better.
Yeah.
So sometimes my husband and I will choose a city or a town we haven't been to that's within a few hours drive and just go and explore and see what it's all about.
Yeah.
And those are some of my favorite times, just that restful time that's also actively being out in the world and trying to think better of everybody.
Yeah.
Right? So those are the things that we really like to do. We're pretty quiet, calm people when we're not here at shows going, hello, look at all the crazy yarn. Yes, you do want to really bright sweater.
You do. You do.
Yes, you
definitely.
want to wear the Northern Lights wherever you go.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
so that's what we do. We live in a very small town.
Mhm.
So when we come to events like this to get our people fix, and then we go away and we're like, what are the quietest things we can do for the next week?
You got to recharge.
Exactly. And we take time to
understand
do that. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And my husband, since he's part of the business, he has a radio show that he does locally. So he goes and records his radio show and does volunteer work in our community. My volunteer work tends to be on a different scale. So I do things on a province or national scale, and he does things close to home. And that's another thing that we really encourage in our companies too. Even our studio assistant, Victoria, we encourage her to go and volunteer. So if she's on a committee or she's joined a theater group or whatever she's doing, if she's got meetings during the day, we're like, go. That's part of your job here.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. The flexibility. And I mean, we have that at Making too. It's, you just, as if you're doing your job, it doesn't matter when, and go, like I start late on Wednesdays and Fridays because I go lift heavy weights to get out all the anxiety.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially within the tech world, because we're like we're like the meeting of like the fiber arts world and the crafting world and the tech world. But the tech world, it's like unheard of for somebody, for a company to just be like, as long as you get your stuff done, it doesn't matter when.
Yeah. And
do things that make you happy. And
that's
so it's
the
really
way
wonderful.
We are too. So if someone needs to go home and recharge, they go home and recharge.
Yeah. All right. So if anybody running a company is watching this, incorporate that. We need more companies doing this because
I'm really bad at it.
Yeah. I was going to say,
I'm really good at telling the other two to go and do it. Yeah. I'm really bad at doing it for myself, but it's always a good reminder when I say it to the others, I try to hear it myself as well.
Good. Yes.
Otherwise, we're all going to burn out and it's going to be awful.
I mean, I also have to tell myself that. Like I have standing. That's why I pay a personal trainer, because I have to go to those.
Exactly.
Okay. So what is next for you and the company? And is there anything? Do you have any secrets you can tell? Release? We
are looking to get some yarns custom spun.
Ooh.
So I think in the next couple of months, once we've talked to the mills about doing it, we've done this in the past. It's been fantastic. But we need to raise lots of money to get them, because we can't get the yarns in our studio to dye without like at least $30,000-$40,000. So in the next couple of months, we're probably going to start a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe to try to raise some money so that we can bring some brand new, exciting blends and constructions into the world that are hand dyed. So I think that's what's next for us, along with a very busy fall schedule. So we have shows every single month up until the end of the year.
Nice.
Yeah, including Rhinebeck. So if you're coming to Rhinebeck, come see us. We're in Jenny the Potter's booth. It's fantastic. Yep. When our pottery sells out, we move in, take over. World Domination.
World Domination.
It's a thing. It's a real thing.
Take it over. Take it over. Okay. How can everyone find you if they're watching you for the first time?
I am on Indigodragonfly on all the social media. So any social media, go on it, look for Indigodragonfly, is probably me. You can also find our yarn and information about classes and kits and patterns and all that kind of stuff at indigodragonfly.ca.
thank you everyone for watching. Thank you so much for joining us. Like,
Oh, you're
this is
so
also fun
welcome.
for me because I like get to know my new friends better. And if you are not a part of the community, go to themakingapp.com, download the app, sign up. I mean, it's like, I feel like every time I open the app, it's just this like beautiful feeling of like creativity and inspiration, and everybody's so kind. And you will be able to find all of these interviews there in the Making app.
I love
Follow
the Making app.
Indigodragonfly.
It's so, it really
Aw.
is so inspirational.
Good.
And
So glad.
anytime I post things there, I get the loveliest comments.
Oh, good.
So I like it so much more than all the other things.
Indigodragonfly approved. We're gonna put
There we
that.
go.
Maybe we should put that on our
There
website.
you go.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
love that. Okay. Also, go listen to our podcast, Making Conversation. If you search Making Conversation wherever you listen to podcasts, it is the one with it's the pink one that says Making Conversation. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Bye.